People who declined a proposal, why did you do it? He asked me randomly when on a night out when we weren't even dating, just friends. I thought he was joking, but then he came over the next day to ask what my feelings were. I had to say I didn't think of him that way, and it was awkward for a while. I was fresh out of high school and dating a guy in the military that I went to school with. We had been dating about 3 months when he proposed. He was nice, and I could have seen a future with him, but 3 months was just too soon for me, even though we had been friends for quite some time. I told him I wasn't ready, and he never spoke to me again. He literally only proposed because I caught him cheating. He thought I would say yes. OMG, of course. I forgive you. Please, continue to cheat on me after we both sign a legally binding contract. Dude was dumb. Got asked in college by a close female friend. We weren't dating, I hadn't ever felt an attraction to her, and I knew she just wanted a husband more than she wanted me, the actual person. 100% yikes. It was our first date. He showed up drunk and called me somebody else's name. Proposed to my college girlfriend when I was 20 and she was 21. We had been dating for a year and she got pregnant. I thought we were in love because everything was great and I genuinely loved her. I had a great job, and so I proposed because I wanted to marry her and start a family. She then broke down and started crying. She told me she had been sleeping with her ex-boyfriend for the past month. She then said that she didn't know who the baby belonged to, so went and got an abortion without consulting me or him. She got back together with him and I spiraled into alcoholism for the next few years. I'm about to turn 30 now, went back to college 2 years ago and no longer use drugs or alcohol, besides weed sometimes. I'm starting life over again at 30 after all that, and having to take care of my grandfather who had a stroke. Life is fucking weird. Edit. Oh my gosh guys. I had no idea this would get so much attention. I'm trying to reply to comments but my inbox is exploding. Thank you so much for the gold and silver and all the kind words. Your replies have been so inspiring. My mom had been dating a guy for a few weeks after his wife had just died from cancer. His daughter was at college and he was paying for her education, boarding, food. I had just turned 18 and started paying my mom rent money. He proposed but said that I needed to move out because he didn't like me and thought that I was a freeloader. My mom told him that she loved me more than him and that he could shove his dead wife's ring up his ass, and left him. I was in high school, she had schizophrenia, and I wasn't a lesbian. Also, we weren't dating. He was that weird stoner patron that came in just to talk to me even though I wasn't interested. He told me he was the heir to the Commonwealth and should be king after Elizabeth dies, because he had the 3 out of the emblems of the United Kingdom, and once he got the 4th it would secure his position. He would also make airplane noises when I had my attention turned to other tasks. That's a no, Jason. I proposed to my boyfriend of 3 years. He told me he loved me but just wasn't ready because his parents had a really bad marriage and frankly, he didn't know if he could ever get married. I cried my eyes out and he held me but he was gently adamant. I accepted after a while that we wouldn't get married and to be happy that we were together and loved each other. 2 years later he proposed to me. Married 12 years so far. Well, he proposed as I was breaking up with him, which was awkward, and for some reason he thought it would make me change my mind. Also, he had threatened to kill my family the day before, hence the breakup, so there's that. Edit. Thanks for the kind words everyone. At the time, this was my first relationship and I was very naive. I was 19 and he was 20, and we had dated for roughly 5 to 6 months. I'm now in a very happy, stable, and healthy relationship, smiley face. I was 16 and not pregnant. He said I could go to college later if I still wanted to after we had kids. I was in my first few years of teaching and one of my 9-year-old students brought his sister's play ring to school, got down on one knee when the class was on the field, and he proposed to me. It was very sweet. I declined, saying that he was a little young for me. My mother was engaged to a man while she was in college. The wedding plans were well underway, and as the wedding got closer, her fiancé started acting super clingy and possessive. She called it off a few months before getting married. He has lived locally their whole lives, so she's run into him a few times. Apparently he's the super jealous type who doesn't let his wives have male friends, and he has been married 3 times. My mom definitely dodged a bullet. I'm on the opposite side of this story, but it's still a good one. This was years ago. My girlfriend and I were at a friend's wedding, and I got caught up in the romanticism of it and wound up blurting out a proposal at the reception. She said no, and explained that this wasn't the memory of a proposal that she wanted. It felt tacky to tie this important moment to someone else's special day, and she told me to ask her again later, in a different setting. Literally 5 minutes later, they announced that the bride was going to throw the bouquet. All the girls lined up, it went into the air, and sailed straight into my girlfriend's arms. She laughed, turned to me, and said, "That moment is pretty good. Okay, I guess we're engaged." When he asked, my future flashed in front of me and I hated it. He was a good guy and I did love him, but we wanted different things. We had been together for many years, but the proposal was still a surprise. I think he proposed to try and save a sinking relationship. I thought my ex had anger management issues, and I didn't get along with his mother. He was too attached to her. He later became a violent alcoholic, years after we broke up. He also stole quite a bit of money from me to give to his mother for bills. I was not aware of this until months after the fact. I feel like I dodged a huge bullet there. Because we had been dating for a week. I was 15, he was 17. I wasn't ready. I liked him a lot but wasn't ready to plan a life with any one person at that age. We were on the verge of a breakup when he asked. We'd been having problems for a few years. His idiot friend told him it was a good idea to propose and that it would make everything magically better. I told him no, we broke up and I moved away for a while. As they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. It was true in our case. We were able to work things out. I moved back and 2 years later, we got married. We've been together for 24 years, have 2 daughters and 1 grandchild. OMG. I can answer this one in true Reddit fashion. Not me boo. A co-worker of mine, happily married for a good long while, told me that the only man she dated before her husband was obsessed with her, and pursued her even after she broke up with him, and had proposed multiple times before and after they broke up. He just had this unhealthy obsession with her for some reason. The last time he proposed to her was the day before her wedding to her husband. She of course turned him down, and he finally moved on and married a different girl. I told her jokingly that he sounded unhinged, and she really dodged a bullet there. She went quiet for a moment and then said, "Well, he killed the woman he did end up marrying." Gorgeous 19-year-old girl I worked with. We had been a little flirtatious with each other but were just close work friends. I was under 25, she got knocked up by a guy she wasn't dating seriously. She was opposed to abortion, so was planning to keep the baby but wanted to end it with that guy. She took me aside and slowly and seriously proposed marriage with me. Her rationale being that we loved each other even though we were just friends, and that I would be a wonderful father, so we should give it a shot. She was sincere, but seeing as her proposal was insane, though oddly tempting, I said no. She married the father of her child shortly after. They're still married, going on 20 years now. Only 1 child. So I suppose I said no because I was a young man and that wasn't my child. I do wonder what would have happened if I'd said yes. But that would have been insane, right? Edit, since people are asking, I am very happily married with 1 child. I could probably say that there are a couple women in my past that I wonder if I should have married. This girl is not one of them. I wouldn't change a thing about my life now. I love my family and have no regrets. No, I don't secretly wish I had married this girl. He was pissed as a newt and we had only been dating a year. 10 years later he did it properly. We've been married 6 years. Edit, go to bed, wake up to a whole load of confused Americans asking about pissed newts. I love Reddit. Yes, I'm British. Yes, we really did date 11 years before he proposed properly. He was worth waiting for. And my first silver Ha. Thanks for watching. What would be your response? Leave it in the comments and see what the others say. Please also like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care.